But Ebony will not get an equal slice of the pie. And that starts from birth. Because of her race, Ebony is three. You might think racism in the US is really a case of a few bad apples. A racist cop here, a so-called Karen there, a leader of a white supremacist group. You know, people who deliberately hate. But we can't blame racism in America on just a few bad apples. Think of our nation's problem as more like an apple pie, with the racial injustice baked right into every aspect of our society. Meet Ebony and Emily, two American babies, one black, one white, born at the same time, same place, but Ebony will not get an equal slice of the pie. And that starts from birth.
You tell me there ain't no systemic racism on her. Y'all help me out with this. Let me go back in case y'all missed that.
Bad apple. You might
I'm
think
gonna start it
racism
over.
in the US is really a case of a few bad apples. A racist cop here, a so-called Karen there, a leader of a white supremacist group. You know, people who deliberately hate. But we can't blame racism in America on just a few bad apples. Think of our nation's problem as more like an apple pie, with the racial injustice baked right into every aspect of our society. Meet Ebony and Emily, two American babies, one black, one white, born at the same time, same place, but Ebony will not get an equal slice of the pie. And that starts from birth. Because of her race, Ebony is 3 times more likely than Emily to die in the hospital as a newborn if her doctor is white. And once Ebony and Emily go to school, while both girls occasionally misbehave, studies show they won't face the same punishment. Ebony is 7 times more likely than Emily to be suspended, and 4 times more likely to be arrested on campus. When the two girls grow up and apply for jobs, odds are fewer employers will call Ebony back because she has a black-sounding name. And even though Emily and Ebony will get the same college degree, once Ebony is hired statistically as a black person, she'll make an average of 25% less than Emily. So why didn't Ebony get an equal slice of that apple pie? It's because systemic racism is built into our country's DNA. In the 17th and 18th centuries, wealthy white men needed land, so they took it from indigenous people and then forced blacks into slavery. To justify using blacks for free labor, the whites in power promoted a myth that blacks were inferior. And as Seattle-based author Ijoma Oluo points out, our nation's institutions, politics, and policies were designed against the backdrop of that money-driven lie, that black people just weren't as worthy or as capable as whites.
Our school systems were built around this. Our economic systems are built around this. Our government systems were built around this. And it is the backdrop of that money.
Man, I had to stop that and go back. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that y'all whole school systems is built around this, but it's not systemic racism? Man, this dude crazy.
Driven lie that black people just weren't as worthy or as capable as whites.
Our school systems were built around this. Our economic systems are built around this. Our government systems were built around this. And it is simply that things were designed to uphold this story, to uphold this exploitation.
And even though slavery ended here more than 150 years ago, the racism that fueled it persists in systemic ways today. White Americans now hold 85% of this country's wealth. Black Americans, just over 4%, and Hispanics, just over 3%. People of color, people like Ebony, are statistically more likely to be impoverished, incarcerated, and face discrimination in healthcare. Emily may have her own barriers in life, but her skin color won't be one of them.
It's not someone said, here's your wealth because you're white. Here's your status because you're white. It simply means that the barriers that we placed in front of people of color were not placed in front of you. That you may have a whole nother set of barriers barriers, right? You may have barriers of disability, barriers of class, barriers of immigration status, so many other barriers that were placed in front of you. But acknowledging privilege is simply acknowledging if we also took that other set of barriers that we place in front of people of color, you would stumble even further.
So even though you may not consider yourself a bad apple, a racist cop, a so-called Karen, or a member of an extremist group, Aluo says you may have played a role, even if you have the best intentions.
Instead of this whole, let's all learn to be best friends and love each other, you can love someone of a different race and ethnicity and still actively participate in their oppression based on how you vote, based on what you bring up in your office meetings, based on where you spend your money.
It's not too late to change the recipe of the most American apple pie.
It's been 30 days since I've been trying to be late.
A little bit almost.
Brush it, then put back on, and it should be good.
Yeah. Now hold on, let me get this shit up off of here. Stop sharing the screen right quick. Check it out, y'all. I shared that because I was so motherfucking confused when this guy gonna tell me that video doesn't show systemic racism. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? How this video don't show, like, it's breaking down about the schools, the jobs, and every motherfucking thing. So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. So the guy even invited me tomorrow on his show. He told me tomorrow at 3:30 come on his show because he gonna demonstrate how that video does not show systemic racism. I don't know how he gonna do this, but y'all know I'm retarded. I'm a beater. I don't give a fuck if it's the KKK over there. I'm still going in that motherfucker, but I wanted y'all. Yeah, they do. Mexicans do got more than things they do. Y'all got to remember, motherfucking me, Mexicans had lobbied the United States to be called white at one time. The Mexicans was labeled as white for a long time until the white people kicked them out. Shit. For real. They wasn't on our side either. Let's keep it funky. We're going to keep it real. But, man, I just wanted y'all to see this shit to make sure I wasn't tripping. I told God I was going to go live. I thought he was going to jump on her and explain to me. I put the link in first and everything. But, man, I feel like it's some Jedi mind trick. It probably wasn't even no fucking white dude. It'd be a lot of black dudes hitting me up playing like they white dudes because they got white spirits, white minds, man. For real. I appreciate it, Room Shake. I appreciate all y'all. But I just want to do this shit right quick because I know Trigger probably going to be getting on by 10:10 in my opinion, y'all. So I'm finna get up out of here, man. I just wanted to share that little live right quick to make sure I wasn't tripping. Queen Duval, boo. Hey. Yeah, I'm finna jump off, man. We're gonna get ready for Trigger, but I had to throw that in there, man. Got you, coach. Got you. No, I'm assured.